The National Assembly held its ordinary session under the chairmanship of Parliament Speaker Marzouq Al-Ghanim. MPs approved 3 draft laws during the session, including the establishment of a department in the Court of First Instance for considering administrative disputes in its second deliberation. Reporter Badri Al-Saleh has more on the session in this report.
During its ordinary session, the National Assembly approved lifting immunity of MP Nabil Al-Fadhel in relation to a press misdemeanor case, but abstained from taking an identical step against fellow legislator Hamdan Al-Azmi in Farwaniya's felony case. Meanwhile, the Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs and Acting Minister of Justice Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah affirmed the government's keenness on protecting state personnel and facing any bid to target them. The National Assembly then referred to the government a draft proposal that lawmakers approved, allowing the Kuwaiti head of household to take a housing loan from the government-owned Kuwait Credit Bank (KCB), even if he had been granted such a loan once before, although current laws allow citizens to obtain this type of loan only once.
Today's session was longer than usual as it was filled with many achievements. We approved 3 important laws in their second deliberation, such as the establishment of the General Authority for Road and Land Transport, which aims to solve the traffic issue in the country that was distributed into 4 sectors and is now under one umbrella, as the case in other developed countries. We also approved the law regarding administrative disputes and housing care. Moreover, I believe the outcome of this session also resulted in a landmark decree that was approved in its first deliberation, which grants Kuwaiti citizens the right to refute to the Constitutional Court. This is a national dream and a constitutional demand since 1973.
On the other hand, the Minister of State for Housing Affairs, Yusuf Abul, noted the government's rejection of the draft proposal, citing its inequity among borrowers, saying his ministry was dealing with over 110,000 housing applications at this time, which merited attention, and promised that priority went to those who have never had the opportunity to borrow yet from KCB for their first ever home to live in with their families, and who are currently suffering the burden of paying high apartment rents. Moreover, MPs discussed some recommendations regarding the preservation of historical sites and called on the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters to specify these historical locations and rebuild demolished ones, namely the Arms Market. The recommendations emphasize the necessity to maintain the municipality public park, chronicling damage caused by the Iraqi occupation, rebuilding the national and science museums, conserving ancient palaces, names of historical locations, encouraging formative arts that document the national heritage and history, as well as supporting media that serve these purposes. Finally, the Minister of Oil and Minister of State for National Assembly Affairs, Dr. Ali Al-Omer, affirmed during the session the government's keenness on food security, granting land plots to citizens for housing purposes and supporting the public authority for agriculture and fisheries, adding that he received a report on the distribution of agricultural plots that he will revise and forward to the Parliament within a month. From the National Assembly building, this is Badri Al-Saleh reporting for the English News.